Well, Mike Pompeo wouldn't be drawn into whether it's definitely going ahead. Lots of details there, lots of optimism, but no concrete details. He was even asked whether we would find out tomorrow, on Friday, whether the summit is going ahead. Of course, that is the moment that President Trump is due to receive this letter that has been written by the leader of North Korea, Kim Jong-chol, and is being hand-delivered to Washington, D.C. He was asked whether we'd find out on Friday whether the summit was definitely a go, and he said quite simply that he didn't know. He was very frank in that. But what he did say was very much tinged with optimism. He said that the talks had made sure that they were now moving in the right direction. He said he thought it would be possible to achieve a new era of peace, prosperity and security. He said the future could be defined by cooperation rather than mistrust. All of these signals coming out of these meetings, the one last night here in New York, the dinner meeting, and then the morning of meetings this morning, the 2.5 hours that Secretary Pompeo spent with this high-ranking North Korean official, Kim Yong-chol, all seem to suggest that the summit will happen. It hasn't just been confirmed exactly when it will happen, so we're still waiting for that exactly.
Yes, obviously there is a bit of street noise behind you, but we'll power on through. I'm just wondering, of course, at odds here is the idea of denuclearization. The US has hinted that it expects North Korea to give up all of its nuclear arms. North Korea insists that it needs some of them for safety. Was that cleared up at all by Pompeo during his press conference?
Well, he did once again remain firm on that line, this line that the US has been pushing throughout, that they need the North Koreans to commit to total denuclearization of the Korean Peninsula before the United States is willing to sit down at the negotiating table. Pompeo didn't say if he had received that assurance from the North Korean officials during his two meetings, but he did say that that was still the United States position, that he needed to be able to see that before President Trump would be willing to sit down in the same room as Kim Jong-un. That effectively is the one stumbling block that could potentially stand in the way of this summit taking place. President Trump spectacularly cancelling it last week after what he said was aggressive rhetoric coming out of North Korea, but all of these signs suggest that both sides want this meeting to happen. The very fact that the North Koreans have travelled all this way to New York to hold the meeting, and that the United States had to achieve a special dispensation waiver for the high-ranking official to enter the US. He'd previously been blacklisted with sanctions against him. Both sides going to extraordinary efforts to make these meetings in New York happen. The suggestion being that they may try and do the same for that summit in Singapore to happen as well.